Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Between the Sharks. We've reached probably, I want to say the worst part of demo. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything worse than this. That's right, old insulation. So I'm clear till about right here at this point, which is about 4 feet in from that hole. That was great. That's right where I needed it to be. We're gonna go dig out some scaffolding from the backyard, see if we can get it set up. It was donated to me. I've never used it before. Also, I gotta run back and get batteries because I forgot camera batteries, and that's just part of the YouTube of it all. Every project takes, you know, a little longer when you're trying to film yourself. All right, let's go do it all. All right, when I was getting this scaffolding, I was unloading all this material like fast and furious because it was all gonna get junked. Like they were emptying a warehouse and some pals said, come get what you can. That's what all those windows are, those patio doors, all that stuff. So huge win for me, somewhere on the channel if you're checking it out. But I was like, I was short a wheel and I said, there's no way that I didn't get 4 wheels with all this scaffolding because I have enough for 2 sets, but I know I got at least 1 set of wheels. Apparently I put this back here. Good news is I was right. I was smart enough to get at least 4 wheels because I remember working real hard to get it off a pallet. But don't hit my buddy's car. But apparently I was not smart enough to not hide it from myself. Neat and organized, guys. Stay neat and organized. And this truck, gang, if you're interested in it, there are a bunch of videos on the channel that I think are probably worth watching. Bought it for 1,800 bucks. Hardly ran. And we got it going. It's basically like a farm truck around here. I use it to move stuff from the front to the back to the front. And every once in a while we hit the dump with it. But it's got a dump bed. Like the whole bed goes whoop. We can fit 16-foot material on the rack if we need to. So all right, we gotta get this thing out. Let's go. Version 2.0, sports fans. This should make things a lot easier, faster, and safer. Safer than that janky ladder. And then I have a garden hoe to add to the mix. I was using this fireplace shovel, which I just found laying around, and it worked really well. I've seen a lot of people try to do this type of thing by modifying the hose with a stick, try to get the hose in some place. I'm finding it works great as the same way you would find a dust collection in a shop. And if you've never had that, basically you just keep your vacuum thing in one spot-ish and then pull material to it. So this garden hose is going to give me a much longer reach. It also kind of breaks up the layer cake of insulation that's up there. So we're gonna dive back in, see if we can get the rest of this down quickly, hopefully. Here we go. That is another dead raccoon. I would be more shocked if I hadn't already had one land on my head, demoing the ceiling in the kitchen. All right, well that happened. I guess we'll move the insulation down this away, make more room in the bag, but it is, I just shut it off and there is no dust really in the room, which is great. It's doing its job. It is in fact dust free. I do need to get some more light worked over that way. And yeah, that is another mummified raccoon in the attic. And when I say another, like I said, I'd be more surprised if it wasn't the first one. But the first one fell out of the ceiling in here. The bad news about that was I hadn't invented this device. So I was just pulling the ceiling down with a respirator on, and I basically got dead raccoon rained on. It was, didn't even realize what had hit me. And then I saw on the ground some bones, and I was like, what is this? Yeah, you know, you toughen up to this kind of stuff, apparently, when you're broke and you're trying to do a massive project. Don't really have another recourse except to do it myself. So we're going to fish that raccoon out of there because, yeah, he ain't hurt nobody. He's dead. I do wonder what the demise was, because there were some tough cats living in this place. Like, not house cats, like tough cats, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, maybe just expired. Who knows? Man, it stinks up here. That poor little dude. It does not smell like dead animal. That guy has been dead for a very, very long time. But it just smells. It smells like he lived up here for a long, long, long time, and so did all his buddies. I wonder what got him. I hope he expired from natural causes, but I don't know. All right, we're gonna put the respirator on, and we're gonna dive into the rest of this, because I want to be done with it. I think if I can, from where I am now, I can get this next set over, and then we'll knock all the drywall out, and then we'll go for the last couple rows. I'm gonna get everything above the bathroom that I can at this point while I'm up here, because it's going pretty well. It's certainly not pleasant, but relatively it's way better than any other way I've ever done this, so I'll take it. Doing damage, fellas, doing damage. We're halfway there, it looks like. Gotta go yonder ways, but halfway is a lot further than we were when we started this morning. We were no ways. Didn't even know it was gonna work, and it's working like a charm, which is awesome. Awesome. Like, you can see that there's not much dust in here at all. I mean, it's indiscernible. Obviously there's dust because of where we are, but it's really, this thing's doing a great job, and there's no dust in the other room still. Also, like, you know, for as bad as this house is in a lot of ways, the water damage is the thing that's killing it, right? We've seen some amateur construction techniques, but those have all held up for the most part. Most of like 1950s lack of termite proofing has held up. I don't think anybody expected this house to stand for 70 years, and most of this timber is in incredible condition. It's just the water damage. If they'd maintained the roof, this house, I mean, I never would have been able to afford it if they just maintained the roof. So I can't really be mad at them for it. Even the bad extensions, so long as the roof had run water away from the house, everything would have been okay. Would still have needed a total renovation, but you know, gotta keep water out the house. This is pretty cool. This was up there in the attic, and I thought, that's interesting. So I kind of looked in it. It's got some jokes, but it's also a little bit of girly pictures in there. So I guess that was somebody's secret stash. It's kind of funny, but 1964, that was hidden in the attic and lost. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. 64. Whoa. All right. We're gonna dive back in and see if we can't get the rest of this done.
like a graveyard up here. Look at all these bones. Wow.
Gang, I cannot explain what happened to that little dude, but where his poor little raccoon self ended up, his tail, back legs, hips were like 5 feet away. So I don't know if he was killed by one of the cats that was inhabiting this house or if he died and was just dragged around. I mean, if he was killed by one of the cats, his legs wouldn't have fallen off at that point. So like something moved it later. I have no idea what, but something did. And in the next spot over, there are a bunch of other bones too, just more backbones. And I mean, this thing doesn't smell. It's been up there for so long, it is mummified. But yeah, the joys of do-it-yourself home renovation, I suppose. I don't know. Oh boy, the day's creeping along, but this bag is nowhere near full, which is great news, because a different version of me was like, oh, I could cut a hole in the back of it and empty it out and reuse it, but dumping this stuff at the dump, not contained for everybody else to breathe in, both the employees and everybody else dumping, just isn't the right thing to do. So we're not going to do that. But I do want I keep thinking I'm going to wipe my face with my sleeve, but I'm not going to do that. But I think I can get all the rest of the insulation. The next 2 joists are empty, so we're going to knock those down. Got 2 to go, and then everything over the bathroom. It's construction of this place is so strange. The back of this wall goes to a chase that now, I guess they added a, I don't know when they did what, but there's drywall all on the inside there and it's painted. So that used to be a different room. I don't know what kind of room or how any of it works, but we're gonna figure it out as we keep taking it apart. Or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll get more confused, but it will continue to stay interesting. All right, let's do some damage.
missing us, but I got a monkey up there.
Man, that's about all I can stand. That end of the house is great weirdness. I'm convinced at this point that it was a one-room shack, but I don't know how it was laid out, like one-room-ish shack. Whatever the bathroom is now, I think might have been the kitchen. Maybe there was an outhouse or something like that. I really don't know. But it's weird. There's also like 2 layers of drywall at some point around the plumbing vent, so that goes from the crawl space to the roof. So it's like the perfect creature entry point with a little hidey hole in it. So yeah, who knows what we'll find when we demo the bathroom. It is the grossest bathroom I've ever seen. It's the stuff of horror movies. Am I right? 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 Yeah, I'm right. Anyway, we've done a bunch of damage here, which is great. Definitely see the sunlight through the roof where we shouldn't, but whatever. We knew that leak was there. We got more to do. All right, this little glen looks like a pretty good resting spot for our little raccoon buddy. He's not trash. We're not throwing him out. We're not putting him in the dump. Sorry, little feller. We'll get that off of you. Let him return to nature, I suppose. Poor little guy. Trying to do right by him best I can. Man, that was a lot of work. Made 1,000 times easier, you know, by scaffolding and our dust collection system. That's for sure. We still got plenty to go. It's not quite enough for a dump run, so we're just gonna gather it up, I think. And we're gonna demo some more stuff. I think, not all the lights out of this room, but I think it's time to consider demoing the rest of this. And that would also, I think that would collectively be a dump run. So, yeah. This may be the end of it. We'll see you next time on Between the Sharks when we demo this thing or finish that thing. Nobody knows anymore. I can't tell if I'm coming or going.